Ooh, credit. Bought a car with producer credits. I paid for my health insurance with producer credits. All the groceries I bought during that time of my life, I just go into the grocery store and show them screenshots of Twitter shoutouts. All right, producers, if you're making beats, what do you want to do? Do you want to get paid for the beat, or do you want credit for making the beat? You can't have both. It's against the law. You can't have both. So another sarcastic intro. What do you expect from me at this point? There's a crazy situation happening right now that I don't even think most of us realize is happening. I didn't until I just looked into it. A lot of producers are upset, and rightfully so, but they've only scratched the surface. There's some really weird stuff going on, and it has to do with the first viral song of 2025, which is undeniably Tweaker by G3, aka Liangelo Ball. Now, Liangelo Ball's song did so well that allegedly he just signed a deal with Def Jam worth upwards of $13 million with $8 million guaranteed. We talked about this on the podcast. I have no idea what the real numbers are. They always sensationalize when they print the stories, but regardless, it's a lot of money. The average music fan probably doesn't care how a song was made as long as they like the song. They just like listening to it. But for me as a producer, I always want to know who made the beat. I think producers care who makes beats because we're producers, we want to know. And the good news, one of the few good things about Spotify is that Spotify does now list producer credits. So let's see who made this beat. View credits. All right, there, see, this is what I like to see. These credits weren't here yesterday. They just changed. And I did see my man Mike Trampy, aka the producer whisperer, going online saying we have some business to handle, because initially the credits looked like this. And producers were upset about that. There he goes. Yep, he said it was updated. Okay, as of 1/16. Oh, wow. So this is even new information. I'm just learning about this right now. Yeah, you can see the full conversation here. Producer Whisperer, aka Mike Trampy, advocates for producers, so he made sure that this got handled. Wayne on the Beats original post said, "Not gonna lie, I'm triggered, bro. How does this keep happening?" And then I just realized this guy who can't even spell the word exclusive claims that if somebody buys a beat outright, they should own it, and therefore no one other than the person who purchased the beat should get credit or share in any sort of equity. So we're not even going to address that stupid shit. So this is great news. The producers are now credited. But one thing, yeah, I cut myself on a cat food can. But one thing I learned over my entire production career is that credit doesn't matter as much as I once thought. I used to fight for my credits when I would make a beat, especially during the mixtape era. And during that era, I was working with a so-called producer manager who we will not name, Sarah J. She was sending my beats out to rappers left and right saying, here, you can use these. We don't need money. Here. I have my theories that she was getting paid under the table based on something that DJ MLK at Grand Hustle said, which was that, yes, she was getting paid for beats and not giving it to me. So I had songs with major artists like Jim Jones, and I wasn't getting paid a cent for any of them. Sometimes I would get credit. Ooh, credit. Bought a car with producer credits. I paid for my health insurance with producer credits. All the groceries I bought during that time of my life, I just go into the grocery store and show them screenshots of Twitter shoutouts, and they just ring me right up. Credits matter, of course. Credits are social proof, and they feel good. If your name is associated with a big song, people might reach out to you to pay you for additional work. So indirectly, in an indirect way, you can make money off of credits. But credits are unfortunately sometimes a manipulation tactic. It's like exposure, they're the same thing. How many times do you hear stories of people trying to pay somebody in exposure? I'll pay you in credit, give me the beat for free, I'll give you credit. And so the one thing I really think producers need to learn about this particular conversation is that credit and ownership are two entirely different concepts. And a lot of people conflate them. And a lot of people feel as though it's a one or the other kind of scenario. Either you get credit or you get paid. Now, this gentleman says this is why he's referring to the same situation before the producer credits got fixed on the Tweaker record. This is why a lot of producers charge for beats, because if you're not going to give the credit, at least pay them. I charge for beats because it's my job. I have no other way to make money right now. This is what I do for a living, as do other career producers. So credits are the least of anybody's worries when you are trying to pay for food and shelter. Now, I know damn well you knew this was coming. Now, I love this chart because it's visual and it shows us everything we need to know about the music business. Equity, ownership. That's how you make money in the music business. You'll notice that credit doesn't come up once. I think a lot of people conflate credit with splits. They're different. Credit is just having your name on the liner notes. Liner notes barely even exist anymore, but credit on the Spotify metadata. So someone can click those three little dots and see that this was produced by DJ Payne 1, but DJ Payne 1 might not be making a cent off of that song, especially if DJ Payne 1 doesn't own any equity in that song. And if all I'm getting is credit, that's not paying me a cent. Splits, ownership, that's what matters. That's how you make money. Russ just recently said that's what matters. So again, by law, and you can look this up on Copyright Gov. I've shown it before. I'm not going to do it again today. But by law, every piece of recorded music, even a beat, the second it's made, the second it's fixed in tangible form, as the U.S. Copyright Office phrases it, it is copyrighted. Automatically, it is copyrighted to its creator. If you're the person making the beat, you are the creator, and therefore you're the owner. And you own, luckily for you, this is great, because this is how the music business works. Every piece of recorded music, including a beat, is made up of 2 copyrights. That's different from, I think, any other field. Like if you're a photographer and you take a photo, there's just 1 copyright. The master recording, which is the actual recording of the song, and then the composition, which is composed of the different pieces that make the song. Think sheet music, as they say. When you sell a beat, what you are doing is you are either licensing both of these copyrights to a person, to a label, to an artist, or you're selling both of them outright, which I would never recommend, or you're selling one. In most cases, when you're dealing with a major label artist or even an indie label, you are selling the master recording, licensing the composition, but you're retaining your ownership here. And this is where royalty rates come in. This is where producer points come in. And over here, this is where writer and publisher splits come in. That's why you see BeatStars Publishing come up. So producers, what can you do to make sure that you are retaining ownership as much as you possibly can and getting paid for your work and your intellectual property? I think the biggest first step is understanding, and that can mean understanding the music business, learning it, getting a copy of Donald Passman's book, All You Need to Know About the Music Business, looking at that chart that I show in damn near every video I make, and understanding what you don't understand. In other words, if you get a contract from a label for a beat that they want to buy from you and you don't understand it, find someone who does, and that somebody is a lawyer. Find a lawyer, find someone who can help you with that, and pay them to explain the contract for you and represent you during that negotiation. But before that happens, what you can do right now is make sure that you have your bases covered. For example, if we're looking at the different agencies, and this is this line here, different agencies that collect these royalties, you need to be affiliated with them. So are you affiliated with Sound Exchange if you're in the United States, so you can collect digital performance royalties on the master side? Are you registered with a performing rights organization, PRO, like ASCAP or BMI? If you're not, figure that out. Sign up. Just go to BMI.com or ASCAP.com and affiliate yourself. I talk about my past a lot, working with artists that I had pretty negative experiences with, and I was working with a group that eventually just completely exploded. The lead rapper was fucking the tour manager. She was also stealing, and I wasn't getting paid for any of the beats that I was making. But I learned a lot from that situation. You can learn a lot from negative situations. And one amazing thing that happened was, because the leader of the group was incredibly money driven, hence stealing and withholding royalties from me. She wanted to get paid her performance royalties, so money from live performances, from radio play, from TV, etc. And in order to get that money, you have to be affiliated with a PRO. So early on, she told me to sign up to a PRO so that all the music could be properly registered so she could get paid, and as a consequence, I could get paid as well. And I had no idea what a PRO was. I had no idea what I was doing. I just went to ASCAP, signed up, and I'm glad I did, because years later, when I realized what ASCAP was and what PROs did and what performance royalties were, I was like, oh wow, thankfully I'm ahead of the game, because now that I'm actually working in the music business at a higher level than I was back when I signed up, I'm already covered. I don't have to scramble, there's no delay. So even if you're not fully grasping what a PRO does, sign up for one, affiliate, because you affiliate once and you're there forever. And you can also affiliate with a publishing admin. You can sign a deal with a publishing admin like BeatStars Publishing, Songtrust, etc. And some publishing admins will collect microsyncs, some won't, so you can look those up as well. Now back to Tweaker, because there's something crazy going on with this song. When I was searching for information, because my whole point was this, and this is still true, even if you don't get credit for a song, you can still have equity in that song. So for example, my very first placements, I had my tag at the beginning of all the beats. When they mixed the songs down, the engineer just removed my tag. So yeah, my name was in the liner notes. I got credit for the track. I got paid for the tracks. A person listening would have never known that I produced Young Jeezy Don't Do It off the Recession album, or Ludacris featuring Rick Ross Money off the Ludaversal album, unless they look at the liner notes or unless they follow me on social media. And that used to kind of bother me because I'm like, I want my name on these tracks. Now I kind of don't care. Just pay me so I can live and invest money in my IRAs so I can retire and not be homeless. And one great way to see who has equity in a song, especially if someone's lying and they're like, oh, I co-wrote. There's a guy in my city that was saying he co-produced a song for Gucci Mane way back. I talk about it when I interview Fat Boy, who's the actual producer of the song this guy was taking credit for. You can go on Songview and look, basically lifting the hood up to see what writers were registered to that song. So even if you're like a ghostwriter or something, your name might come up in a Songview search. My whole thing was I was gonna find the information on this Tweaker track so that we could see that, yes, just because the producers weren't credited on Spotify, they were still listed as co-writers. And on Songview, at least on BMI's end, there's nothing there, nothing. So then I go on ASCAP to see what Songview says there, and this is where things get weird, all right? So you see that the song is registered, has the ISWC and everything. Oh, maybe I should search for the ISWC here. No, nothing. Okay, this is weird. Maybe they're not communicating correctly. This is a work that's controlled by ASCAP, but is controlled 100% by ASCAP. And as you can see here, the performers are listed as G3, Jello the Ball Brothers, but there's only one writer. And as you can see, this one writer has 50% on the writer's side, 50% on the publisher's side, which adds up to 100%. So one person owns 100% of this track. Okay, this is weird, right? Because the person's name is not Liangelo Ball. It's someone else. It's Shaquille Alfred Butcher. Now, if you search this person's name, I don't even know if I should be doing this. If you search his name on Google, you won't find anything. But if you click on his name, it'll tell you what his performer name is. So this is D Sturdy, and this is an established rapper, for real established. I can't really find anything that associates the two of them together. And at first I was thinking, okay, maybe this guy Ghost wrote the song, but I don't think so at all. Here's my honest theory about all of this. This is what I think happened. When it came to the initial exclusion of the producers from the Spotify credits, I think all that happened was the Ball brothers were registering songs and they just didn't give a fuck. They had other stuff on their mind. They breezed past the part in the distributor where it asked for the producer's info. Maybe they forgot who the producer was. I don't know. Apparently, and I was looking this up, apparently they recorded the song on Veloco, which means they recorded it on their phones. Look that up. That's weird too. It's cool. It's not, they wouldn't be the first artist to create a viral song that was recorded entirely on a phone. So then, Mike Trampy steps in because the two producers, there are two Russian producers behind the record, and they're affiliated with BeatStars Publishing. So BeatStars Publishing had their backs. They handle the credits. The credits are handled now. But my honest belief is that Liangelo Ball never registered the song with a PRO. I'm sure that's in the works. I'm sure now that he's dealing with Def Jam, they're going to register it and make sure that all that's handled. Or maybe they don't care because Def Jam probably isn't even getting a piece of the publishing, so it's neither here nor there to them. And I think the D Sturdy thing is just either a mistake or someone registered it to, I'm not saying this is what happened. People can register songs that they had nothing to do with to themselves, either by accident or by accident on purpose, and they can kind of snipe some of those, poach some of those royalties. So maybe that happened. It was probably a mistake. I think all of this was just a matter of artists being artists and being inattentive. Like I said, when I first started, I had no idea what a PRO did. I had no idea how to register a title. A lot of us learn on our feet. And so if you're watching this video and if you're seeing things unfold in the music business that feel a little above your pay grade and they're just going over your head, it's because you just haven't experienced them to the point where you really need to understand them. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a big fan of encouraging people to just learn on their feet, make their mistakes. That's how a lot of us learn. The two things that hopefully you do retain from this video are, one, credit and ownership are two different things. You want ownership. Ownership is worth more than credit. And two, affiliate yourself with a PRO if you are not currently affiliated with one. Best of luck out there. Much success to you in 2025. Peace.